Cool. The only reason why I wanted to make this something that I record is because I have known you now for has to be almost like 10 years now when we first
Yeah,
did like
yeah.
the first brand ambassador stuff. And
I know, right?
I have watched you mature into this like amazing woman who owns herself, her body. Every room you come into, there's just this energy that you give everybody. And I'm loving it. And I know what you have to say could help me, if I could look back at it also, and also help whomever else. And you inspired me to come up with this thing called Tea and Jam, because a lot of times ladies, we like to say something like, let me spill the tea, and it's like bad stuff about people or gossip about people, and I don't care. But what I do care about is like, what thoughts do you think that like are helping you out? Like, what do you do in your mirror time? Like, what kind of things, like, do you wear scents? Do you put it on before you put on your clothes or after? Like, like even things that that will just help me be a better woman. I really want to find that out for me.
Yeah, because that's the real tea, right? Enhancing things, productive things. So yeah,
That's
I
right.
appreciate you. That's just alignment. I am a reflection of you, so I just appreciate you seeing in me all that you are. So I appreciate that. Um, yeah. So what's so interesting? I was thinking today because I'm always thinking. So I was thinking today about like perception and misperception, and I was thinking about the times where I had been misperceived, or perhaps times where in my thoughts, in my head, I thought maybe I had been misperceived, and going deeper down the rabbit hole, wondering how that um, served the relationship that I was beginning to nurture. And because I'm going through this whole like transformation right now, exploring the art of letting things go, people, places, experiences, like really just releasing myself from any kind of residual shame or any kind of even resentment that I may hold, or any self-limiting beliefs that I may have held that have created blocks in my own life. So it was just interesting that you brought that up, like basically what you see in me, because I really feel like the only way we can be visible to anybody else is if we shine. And the only way to really allow yourself to shine is to really, kick all the dust off of yourself. The dust meaning like the things that I mentioned, along with, other things that hinder our own expansion and growth, which requires exploration of self. So I'm happy that you see me, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, man. Even the introspection, like, I don't think we have conversations with each other. And I know sometimes it's not our business, what people are going through, how they're going through it. Like, it is for them to go through it. It is for them to be in their place and get it, and with their close friends, to work it out and everything. But like, I think having conversations about like, yo, I'm learning how to let go. And then like, okay, well, what does let go mean to you? And then like, how do you go about letting go? Like, really, what does it mean to you? Because everybody says it, let go, let God. But what does that actually mean?
Healing. Yeah. I being from the South, I can't tell you how many times like I was told to, just, it's in the past, just get over it, just let it go. And that's really, in my opinion, and I speak candidly, but it comes from a place of love and authenticity and everything that I say, or at least I aim to. It's a very toxic ideology to pass down to your children. It teaches one to remove themselves from themselves. It teaches one to not be honest with themselves. And when you are not honest and transparent with yourself, it's dang near impossible to be that with anybody outside yourself, like truly honest and truly transparent. And when you can't do that, it really affects the depth in which you can connect and build with people on any level or facet of life. And so, excuse me, let me cut this phone off.
Yeah.
Sorry, got 3 phones running around here. So, Two
I
of them
love it.
all.
Look at that abundance. Oh man.
Amen. See, yes. Um, but getting back to the question, when we're talking about letting things go,
Mm-hmm.
the art of letting go to me is right, like parallel with the art of healing.
Mm-hmm.
And so how can I release something that I haven't explored? How do I release something that I can't name, that
Mm-hmm.
I can't identify or acknowledge? So I believe, like, if you're going to release pain, you got to confront it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to feel it, you have to process it, and then let it dissipate. Um, Energy never dies, it just transforms, right? So
Right.
once you acknowledge it for what it is, you can turn it into something else. And one of my favorite quotes is by Eric Thomas, motivational speaker, and he says, turn your pain into your prize. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I'll never forget that. I was listening to him when I was really going through a deep transformation a few years ago. And I think it honestly, this particular transformation took about a year. And so
It happens. There's a long time to change things.
yeah, and it happens in phases, and the truth is that it never stops. And I think that that's the beauty in transforming, the just the forever expansion. That's the beauty of being human, you know, in this whole, like, you know, physical realm, is that we get the opportunity to wake up, make choices, and explore life from a different, you know, vantage point endlessly, you know. But as far as the art of letting go, it's right there. It's synonymous with the art of healing, you know. Healing, and also I believe it's cousins with
Mm-hmm.
worth, worth
Right.
and value, understanding your worth, knowing your value, declaring it, standing in it, living in it. And it's not from an egoical, you know, point of view. It's just from a more self-awareness, you know,
Mm-hmm.
self-awareness, and that um, in this oneness, you know, in this understanding that we are droplets of a great ocean, you
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever you want to call your higher power, God, Allah, universe, whatever. I think a lot of us here understand that we came from something, no matter if you're rooted in science or not. We are composed of magic, of spiritual energy, of matter, you know, whatever you want to call it. Um, and dang, I got so passionate about that, I almost forgot my point.
Is that right? I love it. I'm with it. Tell the truth, sis. Tell the truth. I'm with it.
And then in my head, a whole movie starts playing. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, yeah. Yeah, I be exploring my own galaxy in my head. It does happen sometimes, but I'm gonna try to get back on track. Help me out? What was the sentence?
When letting go turns to transmuting and turning into something else.
Value and worth. There we go. That's why I started getting into that, value and worth. So when you understand, or when you sit back and think about it, and you're like, man, um, I have life, you know, the universe or God or Allah thought my purpose enough, or gave me purpose, so that I may exist. And how
Mm-hmm.
can you minimize that? You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's something I had to. Now it's been a process, again, of awareness and self-exploration, and I think I always held this fear, which was a limiting belief, and I didn't even realize it, that I was too small to stand this tall, meaning, like, who am I to
Mm-hmm.
create this when I haven't accomplished this yet? Or
Mm-hmm.
who am I to ask for this when, you know, I don't have the connections that this other person has. So I should let them do it. I'm not good enough to do it. Or, you know, I don't want to live in all of my gifts, because then I may come off like a multi hyphenate, or like somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Instead of actually, let's explore this deeper. Let's dream bigger, and because it sits in my spirit and in my heart for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And am I not worthy of being the vessel that these messages, these gifts pass through, and these ideas? Am I not valuable enough? Was I not created, you know, in the energy of greatness, and in the energy of perfection, you know, whatever that may mean? I like that word. I know that some people say, well, nothing's perfect. I believe that everything is perfect. I'm perfect.
Mm-hmm.
as I stand right now, even as I will change tomorrow and in the
Mhm.
next hour, I'm perfect right now. And I
Right.
accept myself and I love myself as I am, who I am, and in the current state that I am right now. And then from that space, I can determine who, where, and what I want to be. You know,
Right.
what I want to transition or evolve into. But getting back to the core of this whole thing, which is understanding your worth and understanding your value, and and when you understand that in this physical space, you're able to set boundaries. And when you set boundaries, because you understand your worth and you understand your value, there are things that you can let go a lot easier, than you would when you don't understand your value, because maybe you don't think you can have anything better, or
Mhm.
maybe you don't think that you're worth anything better, you know. But when you understand that you are valuable as you are, then you know that you have access to anything that you want. And you know that anything that does not match that standard that you set for yourself, your value, anything that does not respect the value standard that you set for yourself, you know that you have to release, because it is affecting or pulling you away, from what you are evolving into, or what you have currently evolved yourself into. Hope that makes sense.
Nice. It definitely does. And honestly, that brings me to the whole like beginning of the conversation that I wanted to have with you. Because I've been seeing you post a lot of like pictures of your body, and you're so sexy, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and it's like I can feel the confidence that you have in who you are in all those pictures. Like I could just feel it. And then of course um your captions are more of evidence of the power that you have in your belief in yourself and where you are right now. It's like, what did you do body work wise to reconnect yourself with your self love in your body? Because I know that that was a transition for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely was. Because the truth is that I have pretty much always had an amazing body. I was an athlete, plus my mama's fine. My grandma was fine.
Thank you,
So,
mama. Thank you, grandma.
you know what I'm saying? So thank God for, great genetics. But, and then I was an athlete, so I was very active, led a very active lifestyle. I still do to a certain extent. So just, biologically and, by nature, because of how I trained myself, I just always maintained some shape.
Mhm.
Then I got sick and I couldn't work out and I lost a lot of weight, and I looked unhealthy, and my skin wasn't as smooth and clear and bright.
Mhm.
Um, and I felt, and let me backtrack to say, before I even got sick, even though I had this athletic body and abs, I thought I was fat. I had an eating disorder in college, actually from age 12 to
Wow.
age like 21, like dang near 10 years. Off and
Wow.
on, I was bulimic. And I had issues with self image,
Mhm.
thinking that I was, fat. And I wasn't, of course, but they were just, this is why messaging and words are very important, like how we speak to our children. Um, there are things that we have generationally been trained to think, um, are things said in jest, but
Mhm.
really it's just toxic ideologies that we need to break, or toxic habits that we need to break, that are not of our spirits from a holistic stance, but come from broken places. And so when we don't heal those broken places, we pass that brokenness down to our children. And so that was just a segue to establish, where this eating disorder came from, this
Mhm.
self-image, issue stemmed from.
Right.
And then got into the industry and modeling. I got into modeling, and then, um, just allowing external things to validate my existence made me feel like I had to look a certain way in order to be favorable by people who were booking. Totally ignoring the fact that I was booking like advertisements, hair gigs, and spokes modeling gigs across. Totally ignoring that, worrying about being a fashion model because that's what you see. and those were the most popular or acknowledged in society. And
Mhm.
so I allowed all these external things to determine um, my acceptance of my own body,
Mhm.
and just who I am. And then I fell ill and I wasn't able to do anything. And I didn't even have what I had, which was, that body that everybody was complimenting me on. And then my independence that allowed me to maintain the body that I had. And I um, looked gaunt, I looked sick, I lost weight because it didn't fit my frame, and everything else that I described to you before. And then after I healed from my illness, I gained just like that because I was eating everything under the sun. And then I found myself from the thinnest I'd ever been to the heaviest I have ever been.
Mhm.
And then that's when I had to learn to finally love and accept myself fully. I fell into like a depression, just because I was wondering why I didn't love working out anymore,
Mhm.
um, how I had gotten so big and didn't even know it, and I still wasn't even that big. I think I went up to I went from like 138 to it was like 185 at my heaviest, 180,
And you're
excuse
pretty
me.
tall. Like,
I'm 5'7",
okay.
but I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't obese, but for my frame, like my knees were starting to, ache a little. It was too heavy for my frame, and it was
Right.
the heaviest I had ever been.
Right.
And then also keep in mind, I wasn't working out for a year, so I didn't have it was muscle atrophy, so I wasn't as strong. My body wasn't strong. It was just carrying excess weight from.
Mhm.
I was eating fast food. I never did that before, so it was out of hand. But
Right.
I say it to say I went through these changes, so many changes with my body from, uh, you know, purging, my stomach to prep for photo shoots, to make sure my stomach was flat, you know what I mean? Starving myself before gigs to make sure that I didn't pudge, to the bulimia, to,
Mhm.
actually losing the weight. And then, what was so funny, you got to be specific with what you say, because I said I wanted to like weigh a certain amount, and I did, but I had to get sick to do it. So you got to be very specific with what you ask for out here. And
Mhm.
then I gained too much. And so what I learned from all of this was that there was nothing that was making me happy, as far as what I thought my image should be.
Mhm.
And so my best bet is to start from the inside out, and how do I care for myself from the inside out, and how do I my inside out. And once I accepted myself, I embraced my new extra curvy body, and I started noticing these new things. Like honestly, with more weight, I was getting more attention from men. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it presents as more feminine, or it could just have been an energetic thing because I accepted, embraced myself. People felt that, and so they embraced me and wanted to court me, because of that. But all of this is to say, how I have come to be the woman that I am now and confident in my body now is because everything that I had to go through where I never accepted myself, no matter when I was perfect, a perfect
Mhm.
athlete, no matter when I lost the weight, lost more weight and could have gone into fashion, no matter when I was heavier and curvy and thicker, as we say in the South,
Mhm.
nothing worked. I was always nitpicking. I was never happy with myself. I was always imperfect. I was always to this, to that. And so now it's just I am. I am, and I love myself and accept myself where I am. And from that space, if I want to decide to shift my body into something else, I know I have the power and knowledge to do so. It's just a decision away. But as I am now, I'm going to present myself beautifully. I'm going to adorn myself beautifully because I feel like I'm beautiful. And I'm going to look at myself and celebrate myself. And some of the actual exercises that I used to do and still do, now I will look in the mirror and I will look at my curves and some of the things that are unique about myself. And I think that all women should do this. Like, don't just leave this admiration up to like, you know, men and women, if that's your preference, you know, in
Right.
these streets. Like, do it for yourself. Like, get in the mirror, write yourself a love letter, talk to yourself. I know I write on my mirror sometimes. I'm like, you are effing awesome, you know, like you are a knockout, you know. And I used to feel shame around like saying that about myself, but why? Why would we do that to ourselves? You know, so I look up some of my pictures sometimes and I go, oh man, like that, I really enjoyed that. I look amazing, you know. As I started to really give myself that attention and not relying on anybody outside to do that for me. I mean, everything shifted. Like, you'll be surprised at how like your physical condition shifts as you talk to yourself better and as you treat yourself better and as you indulge in self-care and self-love. Like, instead of take a bath, you know, put some organic, ladies, put some like roses and, you know, stuff in there and play music for yourself and light candles for yourself. And as you like, you know, touch your skin, thank yourself, thank your body for its resilience, and thank your body for its ability to heal, and how it protects you, and how it's still hanging in here, you know, with you. Like, talk to yourself and just see, you know, as you brush your hair, like, talk about how healthy your hair is and how it's growing, you know, and, you know, just talk to yourself and really celebrate you, and don't be afraid to celebrate you. And those are things that have really cemented my image of myself by practicing acknowledging, you know, myself and my image. And so when I present myself to the world, there's always like an energy behind the photos that I take, and when I decide to present them. I also had to make peace with, because I used to worry about being too sexy, but there's, I think you just have to determine what's sexy for you and what that means to you. Like, I'm okay with being presenting a divine feminine, you know. I think that that's being purposefully sexy, and everybody, like there's no judgment here. This is just what works for me. So
Right.
when I presented pictures that, I guess, for just to put it in one term, that are more on the sexy side, I know that when I'm creating them, it's about I'm tapping in, like I'm being divine. Like, I have one picture that I did at a mansion in LA, with Brandon, Gifted Talents. He shoots for TI and like a whole bunch of people. And it was like this plush, like green ivy wall. And he just put it was like a Victorian bench. And I just sat on it. I just felt so regal. But it was a very simple wardrobe. And I just felt like, just in that space, me by myself. And I just allowed myself to exist as I felt. And I think that there's something divine about that. And I encourage every woman to explore her divinity. It's deeper than sex appeal. It's spiritual. It's your power, you know, as a woman. It's a part of your power as a woman. And there's nothing wrong with exploring that in different forms. You know, part of it is how we speak and communicate with words and without words. A part of it is how we create. You know, a part of it is how we approach our work. A part of it is how we use our wiles to get what we want. But that can function and should function in a very positive sense, because there's a lot of masculine and sometimes chaotic energy. So the presentation of our energy balances that out, you know, and serves the world in that regard. So yeah.
I am loving this. Can we cheers to your discovery of internal power? Like, my goodness, cheers.
Cheers. Tea.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
My dear, like,
Yourself, man. Like, I take time with myself. I don't let nobody rush me.
yeah.
And set and standards for yourself. Like, this is another thing I wanted to say, especially to, you know, Black women. Like, never feel ashamed for wanting to be cared for, because too often I think women feel like we have to be super women, and because of American history, Black women feel that to like almost deafening levels. Like it's deafening to us because we have accepted it, and almost we've become impenetrable to other, you know, maybe men who are trying to be more chivalrous, or kind of help us remove our capes, and deafening to other people, because when Black women maybe cry for help or say that we do want to be cared for, then we become labeled as gold diggers, or labeled, you know what I'm saying? And that is something that I've seen, you know, some separation on, where Black women have been looked at differently when it comes to care, being cared for properly and adequately, according to our worth and value. And so I say, like, a part of this is making sure that you set the standard for the way you need to be cared for, and hold everybody to that standard, and do not feel ashamed for it, you know? So.
Amen. Amen. I'm telling you where I'm at in my life. Like I'm literally at 3 o'clock today checking myself into a 3-day away stay.
I
I
like it.
know at this point in my life, I've come to some realizations. I've stepped into myself more than I ever have before in life. And you know, the life that I lived showed me that I wasn't in myself. You know, that I was just kind of living and doing what I was told I should do because I'm good at this or doing that. I never sat down and been like, yo, Jessica, what do you want? Like, you know, like really, I mean, I know that I want a good life, but not the specifics of what it would entail for me or how I'd feel in it or who I want to be by it. And your words are I guess confirming, you know, about the internal relationship that I have been working on developing. Like I understand I've exhausted all options. You know, I did the whole get married, have a kid thing. You know what I'm saying? I went and did school, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I went and did all the things that us good girls should do to be good girls, you know, and I didn't feel good. And so
Mm,
there had to be something else for me on this earth because I'm living such a good life. This can't be it because I can't be living this good and not feel this good. You know, I want to feel this good and then live even better because if not feeling this good gets this good, well, what would feeling good feel like, you know, and live like? So I thank you, you know, for sure. Like, I have been seeing it in your pictures. I've been feeling the energy in your pictures. And I'm like, yo, whatever she's doing to her mind is showing up all over.
man, amen. Amen. That's confirmation for me. So I thank you for reflecting that back to me. And I am proud of you for continuing to ask questions. I think that we all should be forever students. And I'm thankful to be in your tribe, and I'm thankful to be um, to be your equal, and that you can trust me, and trust trust me in my own existence, so that you may be able to pull from me what you need. You know, I aim to be in service as a friend, as a woman, and as a creator. And I look to you and my other friends, and other, like, associates or whoever is in my stratosphere. I look to them for the same thing. I want to always be able to present something that feeds something into somebody, and I aim to keep people around me that do the same for me. So you're most welcome, and I thank you. So
Well, I
yeah.
appreciate you because I be hustling and I know I'm working on like being like genuine friends. Like, okay, well, see, it's like that's something I've been wrestling with because I like to make moves. So I was like, yo, Nikki, can I talk to you? And then let's make this content, like, you know, like there's something in me that wants to produce so that others can benefit from it too. And so it's like I know that I have a lot of people that I relate to and it's like, yo, I have this idea, can we do this? But in my world, this is friendship, you know what I'm saying? In my world, talking to somebody, getting us footage, you know, because we're both looking to show who we are to the world, you know what I'm saying? And anybody who I have invited into my tribe are usually people who are like, yo, world, I got this, you know? And so if I can help in any way, that's kind of where my brain goes to first before it's like, yo, let's just go hang, you know? And that's something that I'm working on because I know I do need the balance of that, which is also why I'm taking these 3 days because over the past 8 years after graduating, I didn't take any time to sit still and I got depressed and then I found this boy and then I ran off with him and I've been with him for like 8 years now. Like it's like I'm realizing and I am appreciating having women around you that I have close access, women around me like you that I have close access to, because the only reason why I would see that I'm missing a self is because I could feel you having yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I could feel and I have seen the difference in you. You know what I'm saying? Because you've always
Yeah.
been confident. You've always been who you are, but I could see that there was a time where you weren't necessarily as nice to yourself. But
Oh yeah.
now it looks like Nikki's on a pedestal, and Nikki's the one holding Nikki up on this pedestal.
Yeah, man. You said it right there. Like that's the multi-part. But yeah, absolutely. I think it's a certain kind of torture where you don't acknowledge who you are,
Mm,
and so it presents as it manifests as a block in life when you because what you do is you shrink yourself. And I was doing that for a while. I was shrinking myself because everybody else thought more of me than I thought of myself. And I was relying on everybody and everything else to validate my existence and my purpose and my heart and my thoughts and my ideas and my creativity, but me. And that's why I love Kanye West so much. I love how he talks about himself and to himself. And people may think he's crazy, but he's on to something. I love his creative genius, but separate from that, I just love how he um, thinks of himself, how self-assured he is, and I believe that keeps his spirit open and in
mhm.
receiving mode for all these gifts that he has been blessing the world with. So, or that he has been a vessel, to bless the world with. So, regardless of what people think about him personally, he's one of the people that when we talk about how we talk to and about ourselves, that's one of the people that I actually, admire and that fascinating regard. Oprah is another person that I actually look to for, more sensible and more widely relatable methods. And she's a part of my mastermind group too. I love how she's constantly getting these channels of connectivity with thought leaders, spiritual leaders, and whatnot, in different, facets of life, be it entertainment, be it, religion, be it food and whatnot. She's always connecting and collaborating and learning and sharing um, and as a woman, I for one admire that a lot. And then also her own journey of self exploration and finding her own identity from um, almost idolizing Barbara Walters. And because she was trying so hard to be someone else, it was actually it was great. She was great because she was Barbara Walters, and Oprah wasn't really able to be great until she was Oprah,
Mhm.
you know. And so that was a journey that I shared, where I was trying to be accepted and maybe fit in, or maybe not really trying, but I wanted to. And I had feelings about it, and some self limiting beliefs. And I invested too much energy in wondering about what other people thought of me, if they thought I was pretty enough, if they thought I was beautiful enough, if they knew that I was talented enough, if they knew that, I know this person and why don't they think I'm valuable enough to be in this space? And don't they know I was just in this space yesterday? And just thinking too much about things that had nothing to do with where I'm going, what I got going on, or who I am.
Mhm.
You know, what other people think of me is not my business. It is my business to be who I am and to show
Mhm.
up as who I am and to live my greatest, highest, best life and to shine as bright as I am created to be and expand from there, because I have to do that for myself in order to be in highest and best service for anybody else. And so, yeah, being able to acknowledge myself and speak to myself, and define who I am, me do it,
Mhm.
and not let everybody else tell me who I should be, how I should speak as a woman, how I should show up,
Mhm.
how I should dress, uh, you know, don't cuss. I cuss sometimes, it's me, what I'm saying? Like, it's just, stop allowing other people to really tell me who I should be in this life and what
Mhm.
my purpose is and how I
Mhm.
should go about it. You know what I'm saying? We are all equal. You know, you didn't create me. You know, we came from the same water, the same
Mhm,
ocean. You
mhm,
know, we just got dropped in different states and cities. So if you're not nurturing me and in the spirit in which I was created, then perhaps I need to love you from a distance. You know, if you're tearing me down and being overly critical, not constructive, you know, constructively critical, but just being, you know, and judgmental and you know what I mean? If you're, I guess what this boils down to is if a person's energy is off with me, then you know, I don't even have to try. And I don't believe in announcing, you know, I think that we've gone into this culture where compartmentalizing and like we've kind of accepted, you know, this cutoff culture. I don't believe in that. I believe in love culture, you know, and from that space, because I love myself so much, I'm going to love you. Now, whether you decide to receive that love is your business. And
mhm,
if you decide not to receive my love, well, then okay, you know, that is fine. And what naturally happens is that we cannot coexist anyway. I don't need to cut you off. We can't
mm,
coexist anyway. And when you are ready and wanting to receive love from me because it resonates with you, then we will find each other again. But until then, I send you off with love on your journey as I continue mine, you know? So,
I love that. I love that. Now, I do only have the free version of Zoom, so it might be cutting us off soon. I still only have a free one. But I was wondering if maybe we can close out by us doing like a affirmation, like meditation almost, like where you can say an affirmation and I say it back. Like we're like, talking back and forth. But what would
yeah.
be is like you lead me in the affirmations that you usually say to yourself so I can gain some new
Mm.
ones. I think that could be cool if you're down.
Yeah, yeah. So do we just say our own affirmations back to each other, or do we repeat each other's affirmation and affirm each other?
Whatever affirmations you normally say, you say them, give a little room so I can say it back to you.
Oh, God. Okay. All
So I
right.
can learn from some of your affirmations because we all say our own. And so I would love to see what you say.
Amen. I say, I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am amazing.
I am amazing.
I am worthy and worth loving.
I am worthy and worth loving.
I am worth no.
I am worth knowing.
I am well respected, respectable.
Ooh, I am well respected and respectable.
Mhm. I am a high achiever and I am limitless.
Ooh, I am a high achiever and I am limitless.
Mhm. Yes, it only matters where I am going.
Ooh, it only matters where I am going.
I have a bunch of stuff on my mirror too. I have specific affirmations for my career.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, for myself. So yeah, those are the main ones I say every day.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Nikki, you don't know. I have been a fan of yours for a long time. I thought you were the coolest, like the coolest kid. You know what I'm saying? Like you just
Mhm.
owned who you were, and your energy was unapologetically you even then. And I know, of course, we go through moments, and being a brand ambassador was a place where you were able to be set free. So I got to see you in that world, and I have loved seeing you progress. And to be honest, I want to be a female advocate. I haven't wanted to be a girl all my life. Honestly, I was like, why be a girl when guys run the world? What? Like, what is the point?
Yeah.
But what I see is that a real woman actually controls her world. And that is all that really matters because everything else has to align with that. And I thank you so very much for being an open example and willing to share that. Like your IG is about your story. It is a personal blog to the world about how to love themselves. And I really appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you for saying that and being heart to heart with me and establishing this connection and always sharing loving and supportive energy with you. So yeah, thank you for creating this platform. This is beautiful. This is beautiful and needed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you encouraged me because like literally I saw a picture. It was like you had like this black top and this nice pencil skirt and the way your body curves. I was like, what confidence is that? Like, I want it. Like, I want it. And so I was like, yo, you mind if I hit you up? He was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, ooh, because again, my brain, it always thinks, all right, well then if this is gonna help me, because I know it already has, like even confirmation to my own progression. Of course, it doesn't look the same, but like I got pregnant, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole like, you
Yeah.
know, I couldn't refuse of my femininity, being a woman breastfeeding my child for 16 months. Like I couldn't refuse it anymore. So
Right.
I have been on a journey to figure out what my femininity is, what my body feels like from the inside, like all those things. So thank you for even being willing, because I, from a regular like yo homie call to let's do this show so that we can maybe put it out to the world so that people can be they can get the real tea. You know, like I appreciate you for being so down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're gonna have your own show on a platform. Just invite me on, on occasion. Just
Duh,
just call
duh.
me at some time so I can just come on say hi.
Right. Well, I mean, well, see, you already have been a part of my history, you know what I'm saying? Because Bright Lights Live, you were a part of that. You're the first episode of Tea and Jam, you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like we get to see, like, you know, the circle of people who are gonna blow up together, like, you know, a Set It Off movie, and then everybody's like, you know, their life and what they do and how they live and what they're doing right now. These are the beginning stages of our version of that, you know, the next generation of people coming together, showing each other the love and like really saying, yo, I got this here, da da da, can you do this? Like, and actually, I was gonna talk to you because I am moving back to Atlanta in like March, and then my lease is up here. But I
Okay.
have a studio in Atlanta. It's in Norcross that I have been running for the last 3 years, and we're trying to ramp back up. I know COVID is a thing, but we're still
You've been
trying
running it
to,
from LA?
huh?
You've been running it from LA?
Yeah, I mean, I've been managing. I've been bi-coastal, so I come back about every other month. Yeah, for the
Oh,
last like 4 years, I've been back and forth to Atlanta. Me and my son.
what's the name of the studio?
McPhail Studios.
Man, okay, cool.
Yes,
What
but I
what you
want to
mean?
invite you to come so you can see what we have going on there, and like certain things, because we want to be like another Motown, but like a Motown for all entertainment forms. Um yeah, like the Hitsville, but it's like McPhail Studios. So you can come there, shoot your podcast, record your album, do a listening party, have a lounge, quiet thing. Like, you know, just we have so much there. But I'm definitely gonna need people to help push some of the things that we want to do. Like we want a faith-based Christian acting troupe, you know what I'm saying? Like to do different skits and stuff that would be about like the principles and everything. Now, my father used to be a pastor, so he's very much into Christianity. I am very spiritual, so we would find the very nice balance in between there. Um, but just like we want to do that, we want to have showcases, you know, all the stuff that the Actors Connect Clubhouse was talking about in terms of meeting quarterly. We want to do things where people can come in and shoot their reels, you know what I'm saying? Because we have spaces that could look like a living room, spaces that could look like an office, spaces that could look like a classroom. Like we have all that, and I'm not going to be able to do it by myself. I've
Okay.
you know, and I would like people who really know about creation to be a part of it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk offline for sure. And congratulations. I think I heard you say that on Clubhouse. And I wasn't sure, but I think I did hear you say that on Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, because Shalom was needing like meetup space or whatever, or I would think that he would need meetup space if he's trying to get all these people involved. So I was like, yo, we could host that for you. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
come in and use the
yeah.
space. So
I
I'm
hope
with
he
it.
hears about that. But yeah, so I'm here. I got to film in LA and New York in late January, but I'm here first half.
Okay. All right, cool. Well then, yeah, I mean, and we'll probably be heading back to Atlanta around the same time because I have to come back to look at homes before I come back and buy. You know, so
Okay. Let me know if you need help with that too. If you don't have a realtor, I know people. And then of course if you need, you know,
that's
just call
funny
me
because
if you need
I'm
anything.
licensed in
You got
Atlanta.
license?
Mhm.
Oh, cool. Ah, cool.
Right.
All right.
I I need to get it active when I move back. I haven't had it active since I've been primarily in Cali. So yeah, I mean, I'm with it.
Yeah,
I
go
like
ahead.
this.
The way these houses are going on the market.
I mean, this is exactly the reason why right now is the perfect time to kind of move back for a couple years, you know, move back, make moves, you know what I'm saying? And then,
LA's a
huh?
little ghetto right now.
You said
So,
what?
I said LA's a little ghetto right now. It's like Mad Max down there. It's sad, you know.
And then
It ain't
Irvine, where I'm
ghetto,
living at,
you know?
is cool, but everything shut down. So go back.
Right. Right. Well, I can't wait to see you. And I'll hit you up when I come to LA.
Okay,
And
cool.
call me later.
I will. Thank you so very much. I'll probably see you on Clubhouse.
Right.
It's like my new obsession. Like
we'll be on there all day. All
especially
night.
because they won't stop. They will not let it die. So
yeah. It's been cool though. I'm trying to make some stuff pop from it.
okay. I like it. I thank you so very much. You have been amazing. I just want to applaud you for all your work, because for you to be at this place now, you have done so much work on yourself. And if you haven't given you a pat on your back, I'm patting you on your back right now.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. I like it. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
All right.